Oh, hello. This is Lieutenant Howell. Today we're doing Fountain Fire Department Fire Ground Fundamentals. All right, everybody, today we're going to be learning about the horizontal standpipe. So what we've got on our engines is we have 200 feet of this green line, that's 200 feet of 2.5-inch line. Where we're going to be using this is we pull up on scene and we see a longer driveway. Maybe we're too far off of the road or where our engine can park to the actual structure that is on fire. It's longer than 200 feet of our cross lays, so we're going to be needing to use an extended attack or a horizontal standpipe. There's a couple different names for it. For Fountain Fire Department, we're going to be using the horizontal standpipe, okay? So the officer is going to get on scene, and what we're going to do is, this is going to be our shoulder section. Now, this has the 2.5-inch nozzle already hooked up to it. It's a pre-connected line. So the officer is going to have to spin this nozzle off, put on a gated Y, and then begin their extended attack or horizontal standpipe going out. So make sure to take this off, then we're going to replace that with the gated Y, and then we're going to shoulder this top section and then start our horizontal standpipe. Now we come to the side of our cross lays. We come to the side of the engine. Everything else is going on the tailboard with the officer getting that line deployed out, that green line deployed out. So firefighter is going to come over here. They're going to start this yellow line, deploy off this yellow line, just the shoulder section, right? This is the side here that you're going to put on your shoulder with the nozzle. The engineer or the driver is going to assist this firefighter uncouple that from the dead load or the bed section. So our officer is going to come out of the engine. We've already made that call that we're going to do that horizontal standpipe. He's going to go to the rear, to the tailboard, to the rear of the engine. He's going to start to deploy that out. The engineer or the driver is going to hand him off that gated Y. The officer is going to spin that 2.5-inch nozzle off to be ready to put that gated Y on. And then he's going to shoulder that section and start to deploy it out. And remember, guys, everything that we're doing here is we're walking with a purpose. We're walking with an objective in mind. And he's going to grab that loop section. There you go. So he's got the shoulder section and he's got that bed section. And he's going to deploy this all the way out. That 200 feet he's going to deploy out. And he is choosing where he wants this horizontal standpipe to go. And then his crew is going to come up and meet him with the attack lines. Okay, so then that's where he's choosing to put his gated Y and prep for his crew to meet him up here. So at this point now we have one of our firefighters that's going to go up. We're going to shoulder that section, that nozzle section, off of the cross lay. The engineer is going to assist him, uncouple that portion. So now he's got 100 feet on his shoulder. Once he gets cleared to go, he's going to walk all the way up to that gated Y that the officer has deployed out. And then your secondary firefighter is already deployed off the other section from the other side of the engine. We're both walking up, so we have two lines going to that gated Y. And then what we have is your officer has already staged himself at the gated Y. He's going to grab that coupling off of each one and then make that connection. So what we have now is everything is all hooked up to that gated Y. Firefighter 1 is going to start going up the stairs as if he's going to the second floor of an apartment, second floor of the house, whatever. Firefighter number 2, Tasha, is going to has that deployed out to the ground section, and then they're going to start flowing water. The thing to remember is the engineer is going to start to bump up that pressure. 150 gallons per minute is our gold standard for what we want for firefighting tactics. So just know, as the first and secondary firefighter, you're going to get a little bit of nozzle reaction when one of those lines shuts down or starts up. Just know that the biggest factor to that is the training. Train with multiple lines, train with a gated Y, and flow some water so you can catch that nozzle reaction. Okay everybody, so today we learned the horizontal standpipe. This is, well just remember, this is going to be the base for that deployment. There's going to be some other options, there are going to be some other scenarios that you are going to use this in. What we had here was a first story, second story. You could also do a scenario of like an alpha side, Bravo side, alpha side, Charlie side. Just remember, this is going to be the base of what we're trying to do. So there's a lot of options for it. Making sure that we're walking with a purpose. All firefighters are walking with a purpose to get to our objective. And that's how you do a horizontal standpipe.